This is one point perspective, though you can probably read that for yourself. Here's a finished product that I just drew, though yours might look quite different because you'll be using your imagination to create your own cityscape. The first thing you do is establish a horizon line and a few simple shapes. The horizon line simply goes straight across the page, and then somewhere on that horizon line, you'll create what's called the vanishing point. The corners of your simple shapes will go towards that vanishing point and give the illusion of those objects becoming a solid object, also going into the distance and getting smaller as they do so. Draw another line parallel to your shapes so that it gives the illusion of solid objects, and then it's time to rub out the horizon line inside your shape so that it looks solid and not transparent. Harden up your lines so your shape becomes very, very clear, and then you can move on to the rest of your cityscape. Again, just keep your shapes simple and connect your corners up to the vanishing point, and repeat that over and over again until you start creating shapes that convincingly look like buildings rising up into the air. At this point, I was starting to draw balconies, and then I reconsidered because that's a little bit more complicated, and I thought I'd keep it simple in the early parts of the video. Next, I added some paths next to the road and some dotted lines that get smaller as they go into the distance. Here you'll notice I put lots of lines so that I can make sure that the windows of the building conform to the rules of perspective. After I've got all the lines in, I rub out all the excess lines that I don't need. At this point, I start adding more complicated shapes, such as an indented rooftop terrace in the building on the bottom left, as well as balconies on the building on the right hand side. I've also added roads going off to the right and the left, and it's worth noting that any shapes that face the viewer do not go to the vanishing point. They are in fact just simple shapes like rectangles, triangles, and squares. Here I'm starting to overlap more and more buildings to fill out the background and making it look more like a convincing cityscape. This starts to get a lot easier. As it goes to the distance, you need a lot less detail, and as well, a lot of the buildings are obscured by the buildings in front. Make some tall, make some small, add some interesting shapes for variety, and make it look more or less a city that could have sprung up organically by lots of different architects with lots of different ideas. And that, in a nutshell, is one point perspective. I hope you enjoyed the video.